Hello everyone. Sit back and prepare to enjoy this talk from Devfest Montreal.
Feel it. Feel it in the beauty of an impossible moment. In gravity denied, as art animates the body and electrifies the senses. Feel it everywhere and in everything we do. Touching the sky, touching the soul. Feel it from the big top to the little touches. From behind the scenes to front row center stage. From showtime to all the time. Feel the thrill and joy of imagination untamed. This is you. This is us. Together, changing entertainment again. This is Cirque du Soleil. Feel the inspiration.
All right. Hello, everyone. So I'm super happy to be here today to present to you this. I'm Romain. I'm the director of the Marketing Data and Insights team at Cirque du Soleil. And I'm here with my wonderful colleagues, Raphaëlle, who's our team lead for all the data engineering, Alain, our data architect, and Mehdi, our solution architect. The video you just saw was basically part of our new brand campaign called Feel the Inspiration, where basically Cirque wants to push for creativity and innovation in everything that we do. So our team, we just asked ourselves, okay, how can we do that behind the scenes, not on stage, but basically in the dev and data world. So that's exactly what we wanted to present to you today. Before we jump in the technical stuff, I wanted to do an overview of the Cirque du Soleil shows. So we have 18 shows right now across 16 cities and 8 different countries. Basically, we have 2 different types of shows. We have touring shows. It's shows that go to city in our famous big tops, and we have residence shows that are fixed in theaters. One of the examples are our 5 shows that we have currently in Las Vegas. Today we're not going to talk about costumes or acrobatics, so it's going to be something a bit different, but just as creative. It's how our digital teams are innovating behind the scenes with our marketing and customer experience. To give you a bit of context also on the data at Cirque, the complexity of our touring and residency shows lies also in the data ecosystem. So we don't sell our tickets directly. We have to deal with a lot of ticketing partners, so it makes it even more complex because we have to deal with a lot of different data formats and everything. We operate globally, so it means different languages, currencies, customer behaviors, etc. So translation, we live in organized chaos, and our job is to make it usable and reliable and fast. We are seeing a change in the needs of our users. So the way people consume the information is changing. Users, they don't want to search for information. They want something quick and answers instantly. So basically, even the web design, a perfect web design flow or the most beautiful dashboard that can be created is not enough now. It cannot compete with just a prompt saying, hey, give me this answer right now. And people basically want to have conversation in a natural language, in their language, with context. So this is basically our challenge right now. It's how do we bring that to Cirque du Soleil? Here, I'm not going to go into all the technical details because my colleagues are going to do that just after. But basically, I just wanted to show the shift from the AI models, the general AI models that we know, to the custom agents, custom AI agents trained on our world. So our data, our workflows, our vocabulary. So it means basically true context understanding, business-aligned answer, end-to-end task automation. So that's exactly what we wanted to embrace, the custom agents. Today we're going to show you basically two projects that we have started at Cirque. The first one is the digital concierge, so it's a customer-facing chatbot on our website designed to guide our guests. So whenever they're looking for ticket information, show information, they can go there and they have access to the information. And the data agent, which is an internal tool that we provided to our users, so they can have access to internal data, revenue data, for example. We're going to show you that. It gives basically access to direct answers without going to a dashboard and everything. So we have two different audiences, two different problems, but we're trying to have like one unique strategy, make accessible the information to our users. And I'm going to give the mic to Mehdi, our solution architect.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit about the website agent, aka digital concierge. So before going a little bit deeper, let's talk a little bit about why this project. Actually, on our website, as I mentioned before, we have more than 18 shows in different cities, different countries. So we wanted to reduce the friction when new users come to our site and try to find a new show customized to their needs. So this is one of the objectives. The other one is also to improve the digital experience. So we want to leverage the state-of-the-art technology and also to be a little bit more accessible to the general user. And finally, we wanted also to reduce the burden on our support team because a lot of the requests are for general questions. So that project wants to solve this issue. So we came up with this digital concierge. Actually, what is it? It's a cheerful agent, actually a chatbot on our website that meant to assist the users with general questions about our product, our services, and also to be multi-language and in natural language. So the main purpose is to find shows, schedules, tickets, and to help them find the best option for them when they are shopping for our shows. And usually our users are always combining shows with other activities in the same day, so we want to also provide them tools to plan their activities. So we want to provide nearby activities, restaurants, ways to go to the shows, and also parking options. And finally, the two, but not the least important ones, are getting a reliable answer about frequently asked questions, policies, and all the general information about our shows. And also we wanted, again, to promote all the other services that Cirque du Soleil. We don't do only shows, we have other products, so we want to leverage that technology to bring that in front of this website. So without further ado, let's go to a quick demo. All right, so if you go to our website, you will see this little generic icon that users are used to see, and people can ask questions directly here. So first of all, let's go to the first question. What I want to do is I want to see a show in Montreal with my two boys. Hopefully Jim and I will cooperate today, since it's a little bit slow, but I think it's gonna work. So here, what the agent is doing is fetching some data from our internal APIs and going through some logic in there to get the data. All right. So here we can see all the offers that the agent is proposing to our users, to add all the options, and you can continue the conversation with it directly. So here I have all the options I can select, but I want also to plan where to eat before the show and also to see if there is any activities with to do with my kids. So here what we want to do is to go to our tools behind the scene and see what's nearby, what's near the show. So here you can see that you know that we are looking for something near Old Montreal, so there is some options for activities and also for restaurants. And finally, I want to know how to get there. I can go further with this discussion. And also to ask if, since I have kids, I want to know what is the duration of the show so we can plan the options that we have. All right, you can see that we know that the Cirque du Soleil coming next year, Echo, is 125 minutes and with 25 minutes intermission. So this is for the demo. You can go by yourself and play with it, but let's go back to the presentation. All right. So on the technical aspect of it, we had some consideration that we wanted to make sure we follow to be production ready and also to meet the expectation of our internal users and the external user. So one of the expectation is the quality of response. We want to get our agent as grounded as possible with our known data. And we want to also these data to be fresh and near real time, or at least or sometime real time, and to be trackable to if there is any issues to know which data have been used for each answer. We want it to be performant and reliable. Our website can peak at up to 5 million visitors a week, so these agents can have a lot of load. So we want it to be to meet that expectation, and also with a minimal cost efficiency, or we all know that LLM costs a lot of money. So with the right configuration and the right option, we can manage that. And of course, since it's a publicly available chatbot, we want it to be secure and to reduce the abuse that user can do directly. And in the same time, we want to enhance that agent over time. We want to observe it and measure it and have all the insights so we can adjust it over time. And of course, we want it to be operational and maintainable. We have a multiple phase deployment for that, so we want it to be easy to expand over time. So let's dive a little bit and talk about the architecture. So in the previous session, we were lucky enough to see a little bit more about the EDK, so I won't go into it, but just to let you know that this agent is developed with ADK. We have actually, for now, 2 sub-agents that we created, one for planning and one for general information. So each one have different role, and they get orchestrated with a root agent called Cirque agent. So all these agents are hosted in Vertex AI agent engine, and leverage all the out-of-the-box functionality and scalability of the platform. But as you know, agents are nothing without tools. So first, for the planning agent, it's the more, let's say, reactive agent. It needs very fresh data, real-time data. So we build a set of custom tools that interact with our available REST API to get the data about shows, tickets, availability in real time. And also, we couple it with out-of-the-box EDK tools called actually the Maps API tool that help us answer location-based question of type, I want to see a show near my postal code, or is there any show in Centre Bell or something like that. So Google Maps help us with that. And for all the recommendation about restaurant and things to do and parking, all this stuff, we are leveraging the out-of-the-box tool, Google Search tool. All right. So the other agent, info agent, is it's a broader agent that answers generic questions, FAQ questions, policies, and stuff like that. So we wanted to be able to use a curated document as a grounding tool, actually, and we are leveraging Google RAG engine. So we uploaded some curated documents regarding FAQs and show laws and history and all the policies and stuff like that. And we instructed our FAQ, our info agent, to use grounding corpuses that interact with those files. And as a fallback, when the question is broader, and to let's say to promote other products that Cirque du Soleil have. We also leverage the Vertex AI search tool that get as a data source the Cirque du Soleil website. So actually, basically, we are indexing a set of pages and exposing it using Search API. So this is the core components. You've seen that we are leveraging a lot of Google products there. And we decided to interact with the agent to add a layer that we call an interaction layer. And actually, it's a shot server that leverage all the good stuff from Google. So we are deploying it in Google Cloud. We are using it actually for security management, rate limiting, cross-site policies, everything to protect and handle the traffic to the agents. And both those components, so the Cloud Run server proxy and the agent are both logging in Google Logs and Trace. And then we extract some valuable insights and store it in BigQuery for measurement and analysis and enhancement. This architecture actually is allows us to plug and play any UI we want. So basically now we have it in our website, but we are planning to also plug it in, on our progressive web app that deployed on our own shows venue and eventually on a mobile app. So how was this project possible? So very easy, 3 key points. First, robust cloud ecosystem. So we have tried to leverage as much as possible out-of-the-box Google Cloud products for scalability, security, and also that help us to go in production very quickly. ADK, you've seen it earlier. So since its announcement, we played with it before in POCs and stuff like that, and we noticed that it's very flexible and can get things done very quickly and very easy to use and deployable. And last and not least, any agent is nothing without high quality data. So you need to have a very good data, either an API, documents, or any third-party API that we want to use. So that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it to Raphaëlle to talk about the data agent.
Thank you, Mehdi. So I'm going to talk about the data agent. So the second one that we have at Cirque, which is the internal tool. So it's not public facing, it's really for the Cirque employees. So why this project? So we went to Google Next and they talked about agents a lot there, but they also showcased the data engineering agent and the data science agent. And we were super excited. We wanted to, we couldn't wait to get back to Montreal and try to do a custom one for Cirque. So we thought about it and we found the use case for it. We have dashboards, which are great. They're gonna stay, but it's static. Whenever you need a new KPI or you need a new view, you need an analyst to do it and refresh the dashboard. So we wanted to go from static dashboard to dynamic decisions. We really wanted to give our decision makers a way to interact with data and have direct insights. And also it's an opportunity to help our analysts because they have a lot of ad hoc requests and they also, they spend a lot of their times to ask quick questions to get quick insights, and they that way they don't have the opportunity to do deep analysis, which is what they're supposed to do. So let's take an example. We have a manager that we want to compare the ticket sales with the same period last year. So the manager goes into the dashboard. He has to play with filter. He doesn't have a quick view of year-over-year KPIs, and then he doesn't have time. He has the analyst. So the analyst goes into BigQuery and fetch those numbers and send it to the manager. And then, of course, we go into the infernal loop where the manager has follow-up questions and then a quick request, which was supposed to be like 10 minutes of the analyst time, becomes a whole day of answering questions. With the agent, the manager can directly talk to the agent, have his answers, and whenever he needs a deeper analysis on why he received those numbers from the chatbot, or if the underneath the data is not accessible from the agent, so then he can ask the analyst or go into a dashboard to have an overview, but whenever possible, you'll have the direct answers from the chatbot. So the analysts and the dashboards are here for support. So it's like your own personal analyst. You get direct insight, so you don't have to wait for someone to create a new KPI in the dashboard, or you don't have to ask a million questions to the analyst. That way you make faster decisions because you get it right away. It's always available. So if you have a question at 5 p.m. on a Friday, you can just ask the agent. And it helps, like I said, the analysts. So, I didn't take the chance. I talked to the agent beforehand. So what I'm showing you right now, of course, is not the real data from Cirque, because I'm not going to show you how much we make. But it's the same format that the people at Cirque would get as an answer. And the UI is temporary right now. We're wishing to have it directly on Teams, because we use Teams at Cirque. And we want to have it as a bot, so people can talk to it like whenever they want on Teams directly. So if I ask it, what can you do for me? Since this is the sales part of our data agent, so we're only talking to the sales agent right now for the demo. Alain is going to talk more about the other agents we have as part of the data agent. It will answer that it can help us with sales performance analysis. It can also compare it with the budget and our inventory, and also help us with compare and give us a trend analysis. So, for example, if I take the wonderful show we had this summer, which is Lucia, I ask it in terms of number of tickets sold and net revenue, can you tell me how we performed and compared with the budget? And then it goes on behind the scene to BigQuery, creates queries, and brings back the number and put it as a nice little text for us. So you can read, but it's fake data, so. And then at the end, it also gives a little resume of all the numbers he gives. Then I can also ask it what was the average occupancy for a show. So again, Lucia gives me the number. Then I'm like, okay, how did you do that? Can you explain it? Can you explain the query? So he's also able to explain the steps it took to give us the answer. So it's not completely like a black box, let's say. And then I can also ask it, what other analysis can you just suggest from this conversation? So we go really beyond to just like fetch numbers, sorry. It helps us also like guide our analysis. So it said that we can do a deep dive into revenue, into sales channel performance, timing of sales, broader comparisons. So then I can, based on that, I can ask follow-up questions again. Let me try to, let's see if it's going to be fast. If I ask it, what other data source would it suggest us to add? Normally it's not going to be long. And what I like about this answer is it says that we should add data sets we already have. So I love that. Suspense. Okay, so it said customer demographics, marketing and advertising data, customer feedback and social media sentiment, and external market data. So I really like it. Honestly, like it's beyond just fetching numbers. It helps us go broader into our, go deeper into analysis. So I'm gonna give the mic to Alain, our data architect, that will show you how we did that.
So when we developed the data agent, we also had tech considerations. And just to say that we're not Raphaëlle's team, I'm part of Raphaëlle's team. We're not devs, we're data engineers mostly. So we, most of the stuff that we did, we sort of cheated and used what infrastructure Mehdi had already put in place. You'll see that. Our architecture looks very similar, but that allowed us to use out-of-the-box objects from our tools, resources from Google, and get into production really quickly. So here, some of the tech considerations, of course, quality of response. This is going to be exposed to executives, and they're going to be using that to take decisions for the business. So of course, we need quality data. Freshness of data, because we're doing campaigns, we're selling to, although we don't sell the tickets ourselves, we're interested in seeing what the campaigns, we do the campaigns and marketing campaigns ourselves. So for instance, Black Friday, how does it work? Are we doing good and stuff like that? So we need to have the information really quickly. Ease of use, well, they're executives, so we need something simple for them to understand. And the capacity to evolve is basically to be able to use using the ADK allowed us to develop blocks. You'll see it in a further slide. We develop blocks and add different types of agent that will consult different format or type of data. So what you see is when we're presenting today is a revenue agent. So it's like we saw in the presentation before, we have an orchestrating agent and sub-agents that are more specified. So this one, the one we're showing is the revenue agent, and this one going against sales data, transactional data, inventory, ticket inventory, budget, forecasting, so on and so forth. Our plan is to have, we're working on having web information, so GA4, GA3 information, so that to be able to monitor what the visitors to our website do, and also customer insight. So what basically we have a CDP installed, so based on the data in there to see with a conversational agent to be able to ask questions about what behavior the customers have. So we go into the architecture. This should look very similar to what Mehdi showed us. I'm just going left to right, not the opposite. So the front, like I said, the front end right now, what you saw was the temporary front end that we're using for demo purposes, but we have a team app that is accessible to the executives, and that team app talks to an Azure bot. And then from that Azure bot, we go into GCP. We talk to the chat server that Mehdi developed, and it's really the same code. So this allowed us to not code it ourselves, reuse what was done, and get into production much quickly. That server is deployed in Cloud Run and use log events, and we can do analysis of activities on the server. Then we get to the agent part. So this should look very similar. We have a data agent, which is the orchestrating agent that talks to sub-agents. So depending on what the query is, which agent to go to. So on that, and then Other objects or resources, Google resources that we're using, this time I'll go from right to left. The data, all our data resides in BigQuery. So be it GA4, of course, our sales information, we go into, is into BigQuery, and the customer data information is also into BigQuery tables. We have a semantic layer. Right now, there's no, it's a blank box because we're experimenting what to use there. We're looking at Looker, of course, but we're also looking at other tools or to build it in-house, because the semantic layer is fairly important for a data agent. I'll come back to that later. And also we're using memory banks. Memory banks will allow us to put into, to save user sessions so that when they come back, you can build a context much more quickly, and the agent will know what the user asked before. So that's, to be able to know the context. If you've worked with agents, context is everything. So some of the data challenges. What's exposed right now is the dashboards. So dashboards, the things with dashboards that and control what the axis of analysis are. The known metrics, you can control the definitions. So that's a very tight box. If you go to a data agent, then you don't know which way your user is going to come in. So it's an unknown axis of analysis, unknown metrics. You don't know what they're going to ask. And it's subjective definitions. So, for instance, a metric that's really important at Cirque is the ATP, it's the average ticket price. And different business units define it differently. So that's when somebody asks, give me the ATP for this show, then you need to have a definition in there that's standard for everybody. So, and one thing, another issue but challenge that we have, like Romain mentions, that we're dealing with multiple ticket providers. Some are large, like Ticketmaster and GM, Outbox, and so we know the format. But very often in some of their shows, it's smaller providers, and they will give us, instead of giving us, transactional data, they'll give us end-of-day reports. Let's say, how many tickets did we sell today? And so you don't have the detail of transactions. It could be also they send it to an email format. They send it. We've seen pictures. They're sending us pictures of reports, and we have to integrate all that data to make it available. So how do we solve those challenges? Well, we need to solve a data foundation. So we put in place a medallion architecture. Nothing new there. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We just use what's makes sense. So medallion architecture with ELT loads, monitored loads. Also, I mentioned it before, a strong semantic layer to resolve some of the issues, like I mentioned, the ATP. So with the business, the definitions were defined and we put that into place right now. So we started putting in place a semantic layer manually, I'd say, like the descriptions of columns and so on and so forth. But we're looking into using a tool to help us maintain that, because we want the business to maintain the semantic layer. We don't want us to have to maintain that. So one of the things we need to do also, and that's something that's, very often, I know it's a tech crowd, but very often the quality of the data and how the data is accessed is always underplayed. So you need to have very strong hints and guides to the agents to be able to have a consistent response to a query. Good example for that is when people are asking questions like, do you give me the revenue? Well, is it the net or is it the gross that you want to see? So, consistent answers. You need to be able to tell hey, always give the net, unless otherwise mentioned. And well-defined directive. Well, that's same example. Like, yeah, all right. And that was that. Sorry. Thank you.
All right, so now that you've seen both projects of AI agents, we wanted to summarize basically the three main things to remember. The first of all is the foundation and architecture. So really important, of course, you need to have a scalable architecture, clean pipelines, strong backbone, like the magic happens only when everything of that is solid. The second one, the data governance, and my team is gonna smile because I talk about that a lot. But for the customers, for example, the data needs to be accurate, obviously. It needs to be updated regularly. For analysts, same thing, like fields, metrics, KPIs, all of that need to be well maintained, of course. AI is not gonna fix data governance. If it does something, it's gonna expose it, so it needs to be impeccable. And the third one, the change management. The behavior will change. So how people search, how they ask for information, how they trust information. It's basically our job to do that, to make sure that we can guide our users and not just deploy a tool. And that's it for us. Thank you for listening.